Have you tried and then stopped using AI writing tools because they sound so generic and so bad? The writing sounds robotic and unhuman-like and even lacks some empathy. Is that even too much to ask from an AI right now? And many of the AI writing tools are mainly focused on writing for SEO. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 AI writing tools that I think are overhyped and why I think they're overhyped. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the one AI writing tool that I think can absolutely replace all of them right now. So I like to use 4 criteria when judging the usefulness of an AI writing tool. Number 1, how generic does the writing sound that's generated by the tool? Number 2, the memory, meaning can you easily build off of an original request that you've put into the tool or a prompt? Number 3, ease of use. How easy is it to use? And then number 4, the cost. And then for each of these criteria, I rank them from 1 to 5, where 1 is the worst, 5 is the best, but I can't rank something a 3 because it's right in the middle and that's a total cop-out. And to test each of these tools out, I'm going to try to accomplish the exact same thing in every one of these tools, which is to write a YouTube video script called How Businesses Can Survive and Thrive in the Age of AI. Okay, the first tool I want to talk about is Jasper AI, probably the most well-known AI writing tool. I used to use Jasper a few years ago in my business. I used it for a few months and I ended up canceling it because I wasn't super impressed with the level of writing that it was giving me. And back then, a lot of it was ad copy and emails and so forth. They've completely overhauled what Jasper is and what it looks like and what it incorporates in terms of AI now from what it was a few years ago. And that's why I wanted to go back to it and use it again to see how far it's come. So the first thing you notice about Jasper is it's fairly clean, right? The dashboard is pretty straightforward, asking you what you want to create. Left-hand column here has a your content section, campaigns. You can generate AI art in here. Has a chat feature, which is basically similar to ChatGPT, where you can put in prompts and so forth. And then you've got a brand voice section. Now, almost all the tools that I'm sharing with you here today do have this brand voice functionality and different ways to gather your brand voice. And basically, this is your opportunity to teach the tool your voice, your writing style, your tone of voice, and so that it can write in that writing style or in that tone of voice. I chose to keep it blank for all of the tools to give it an even playing ground, and I wanted to see what kind of content it would create for me, pretty much out of the box, if you will. What do you want to create field? Remember, we want to write a YouTube video script. So I'm going to click create, and so it's going to walk me through, hopefully, step by step. So it's asking me, what is the topic of your video, which is a good start, how businesses can survive and thrive in the age of AI. Now it's asking me the key messages. This is a big differentiator here because I want it to come up with these key messages that I want to cover in the video. Now, what I can do with this though, is I can give it the script to follow. So that's the information that I'm going to give it. I'm going to click next, add more information. I want to give it the target audience for this video script. So I'm going to click target audience, click next, and then I want it to generate based on that information. So that is the information that I will give to every single tool that I'm talking about here today. So as you can see here on the right-hand side, it's generating the script. So let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so it's just generated me the script. And remember, one of the criteria I'm looking for is how generic sounding the content is. Well, you might be thinking, well, Rick, you didn't give it your brand voice. You didn't give it your writing style. And that's intentional. I want to see what these tools give me sort of out of the box, if you will. I want to know what the baseline is that I'm working with these tools. And I was really surprised at the difference in level of genericness these tools give. All right, so it's given us a script now. Let's take a look at what it gave us. Welcome to the digital revolution where artificial intelligence isn't just changing the game, it is the game. If you're running an online business and you're not talking about AI, you might as well be driving a horse carriage on the highway. I would never talk like that. So yes, I did not give it a writing style. I didn't give it a brand voice or tone of voice or anything like that. Yes, I get that. But again, this is intentional because I want to see what these tools give me out of the box and what is the baseline from which I'm working in terms of how generic does this writing sound. That to me is very generic. And it says, hey there, savvy entrepreneurs. Today we're slicing through the hype and getting real about artificial intelligence performance in business. I don't know who talks like that. Super over the top and very generic and hypey. Now, I will say that the script here is structured pretty well, where it's giving, the intro, the body of the video. It's even telling me what I should be doing during the video. Host is seated with a background of AI related imagery. So it's giving editing tips. It's even telling me to pause for dramatic effect here in the script. The payoff, it doesn't look to be very in depth by any stretch. So let's go to the chat feature and see if when I put the prompt in that I put together to write this YouTube video script that we'll use across all the tools, let's see if it gives me any kind of difference in result. Okay, so this is the script that when I put the prompt into the chat feature, this is what it spit out for me. Now, as I read this, number one, it looks very similarly organized as the other example that we just saw. Now, let's look at how generic the writing sounds, if it sounds generic at all. So it starts off, what if I told you that the secret weapon to skyrocketing your online business isn't working harder, but smarter? Super cliche, very overhypey. That's right. In the digital age, the smartest entrepreneurs are those leveraging AI to outpace the competition. But how exactly can you harness this power? Stick around, because that's the golden nugget we're uncovering today. Very overhypey. I don't think it's as overhypey as the previous example, but I do find it interesting that I'm getting a completely different YouTube video script when I go through the chat function within Jasper versus the other requests that I gave it off of the home screen. So as I read through this, again, organization's pretty good. It continues to give me suggestions from an editing standpoint. So overall, I think the video script is okay. It gives me some decent ideas for structure. It gives a couple of decent talking points, but overall, I wouldn't use this script. I wouldn't even use this script as a foundation from which to build on. I think it's cool that you can upload your own knowledge base to teach it a brand voice, but I think it's overkill personally for getting it to write in your brand voice in that way. And I think there are way easier ways to do this, especially for this tool that's in the $50 to $70 per month range. All right, so let's add up each of my rankings here. 2 plus, I'll give it a 2 for the memory because I ranked it a 1 and a 4. Ease of use was a 4 and cost was a 1. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Jasper AI. The next tool is Copy.ai, another tool that's often talked about when it comes to AI writing tools. It's also another tool that I tried a few years ago. I actually remember trying it after I tried Jasper AI, and I was even less impressed at that time with Copy.ai. Now, again, this was the very early stages of AI, but at the time I was not impressed at all with Copy.ai. They've also come a very long way, made a whole bunch of changes, so I was anxious and excited to give it another try. It is completely different than what it used to be a few years ago. I think it's less of a writing tool now and way more of a workflow and automation and operating systems tool. All right, so let's take a look at what Copy.ai looks like when you go into it. So this is the home screen. As you can see here, it's pretty clean. The user interface here is very friendly. Also, you can see that it's very tailored to workflows now and automations and what they call operating systems. Now, I love me some workflow tools and automation tools, but I was very surprised when I first came back in here because I was expecting it to be a straight up AI writing tool. It doesn't seem to be the case this time around. So if you want to write something specific, so for us, we want to be writing a YouTube video script. So looking at this, if I want to write that video script, I'm assuming that I either need to go with chat or browse example chats, which I'm assuming is going to give me some templates. So let's click on the browse option here. Use cases. Okay, cool. Influencer marketing. So let's just put in here video script. Okay, so video script does not come up as a use case template. All right. So that is not helpful for me right now. So let's go to the chat. Let's see about that. I can start by typing something in the field down here, or it says, not sure where to start. Check out the prompt library for inspiration. So let's just say that I didn't have the prompt that I do now. And let's see what they have. I'm going to click on browse prompts and I'm going to type in YouTube. So they have a YouTube video description option. Not super helpful to me right now. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to paste paste in the prompt that I also pasted into Jasper and see what it comes up with. Okay, and here is the script that it just gave me. The first thing I noticed is that it was much faster than Jasper. So let's look at the script here. Host, it's giving me, again, it's giving me direction from setup of the video and editing and so forth. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of online business and AI. If you're an online business owner who wants to work less and profit more, then you've come to the right place. In this video, we'll show you how to leverage AI to take your business to new heights. So let's jump right in. From a generic standpoint, that's pretty good. You know, those are some things that I would say. Before we explore the ways AI can revolutionize then it goes on to say, before we explore the ways AI can revolutionize your online business, let me introduce myself. I'm blank, a YouTube video script writer specialized in topics related to online business and AI. I never told it that I was a YouTube video script writer. I simply asked for a YouTube video script. It just assumed that I was a script writer. Then it says, now let's get down to business and discover how AI can help you work less and profit more. So I look at that, and again, it doesn't sound super generic, but for me, it's missing the point of the video. The video is about how online businesses can survive and thrive in the age of AI. This is taking the direction of how AI can help you work less and profit more. So yeah, it's related, but I think there could be a little bit more of the pain that a lot of businesses are experiencing when thinking about the possible threat, quote unquote, of AI to their business. So that for me, it's not a huge deal, but that's sort of something what I would be hoping for from a script that an AI is writing for me. So then it goes right into 5 different things that AI can help a business with. Very clean, pretty good, not too bad. And then it continues on to sort of begin to wrap things up, a conclusion, a call to action. Again, from a generic writing standpoint, it's pretty good. So coming back out here, Copy.ai for me is, if there's not a template for what I want to accomplish, I'm basically just using the AI assistant chat functionality that I could use for free with ChatGPT, for example. And it lacked, I felt, depth in the writing. Again, the genericness of it was pretty good, meaning I didn't think it was super generic, but Copy.ai for me is less of a writing tool right now and more of a workflow and automations and stuff, which is super cool. But again, not what I'm looking for necessarily in an AI writing tool. All right, so let's rank Copy.ai on my 4 criteria. For the first one, how generic the writing sounds. On my scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it did a pretty good job. It could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as Jasper by any stretch. And I didn't give it any kind of brand voice or writing style or anything. So I'll give it a 4. For the memory, meaning can you easily build off of the original request or the prompt? Yeah, because it's a chat feature, it's the AI assistant. I give that a 4 because that's pretty easy to do once you are in there. In terms of ease of use for writing, I'm going to give this a 1 because I don't necessarily see Copy.ai as a writing tool anymore. And when I go in here, they're referring to everything as chats when it comes to writing versus workflows. So from that perspective, I didn't think it was very intuitive. And then finally, when it comes to cost, I'm going to give it a 1 on my 1 to 5 scale, because as you can see on the screen here, the pricing starts, yes, you can have a free plan, but it's very limited for what you get in that free plan. Then it jumps up $49 a month. And then from there, it increases really significantly. So starting at $50 a month is basically where you would want to start in terms of Copy.ai to do any kind of writing in here. And it's for that reason I'm giving it a 1 in my ranking. So let's add those all up, and Copy.ai gets a total ranking of 10 from me. All right, the next tool is Grammarly. Grammarly is widely recognized as a grammar checker. Most of us know Grammarly has a great Chrome extension, but the overhype for me lies in it being marketed more recently as this revolutionary AI writing tool. Looking at the screen here, let's see if Grammarly lives up to it being a revolutionary writing tool. So the first thing that you see here is you can start typing right away here in the document, but we want AI to generate our YouTube video script, or you can paste in a document that where you've already written something. It's still very much geared towards checking, writing, and offering suggestions for improvement. Over on the right here, you can see where it says generative AI, and that's what we want to use. So I'm going to click on generative AI, asking, what do you want to do? So I'm going to, it's not very intuitive here, by the way, for me anyway, that can I put a prompt in here? So let's click on that. And this box pops up. It's very small, which I thought was kind of interesting. Now, it's not very intuitive, at least for me. It's not super intuitive what you can actually do with this. I mean, acknowledge Grammarly Gen AI use. I don't even know what that means. Generative ideas for a blog post. Okay, cool. If I click on the more, I assume that's going to give me other options. Options are very limited. It's also not clear, can I even put a prompt into this field? And let's try that. I am able to put the prompt in here, which is great. Let's see what kind of YouTube video script this gives me based on the exact same prompt I've used both in Jasper and in Copy.ai. So it's written me the script based on the format that I gave it inside of the prompt. Let's take a look at the writing, see how it sounds. Are you an online business owner who wants to work smarter, not harder? Do you want to leverage the power of AI to save time and boost profits? If yes, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'll share with you 3 to 5 ways to use AI in your online business to work less and profit more. Stay tuned till the end because I'll reveal the single most impactful thing that you can do to thrive with AI in your online business. It's not a bad hook. It's not necessarily what I would say, but I think it sounds pretty good in terms of, is it generic sounding or not? So let's keep going into the intro, what it wrote for me. But before we dive into the how-to content, let me introduce myself. My name is Blank, and I'm a YouTube video script writer who creates highly engaging, informative scripts on topics related to online business and AI. I've helped several online businesses to leverage AI to work smarter and achieve their goals. I don't know how I would do that specifically as a script writer. So again, similar to, I think it was Copy.ai. I don't know why that it's assuming I'm a YouTube video script writer because that is not in the prompt. So then it goes into the how-to content, and I think the how-to content is pretty good. As you can see here, it's pretty light. It's not super in-depth. And then the payoff, conclusion, call to action, outro music plays. Okay, so I think it's decent. I think it's very surface level, if you will. And again, I can come back in here to the prompt to ask for changes. I can say make it more persuasive. It does give me the option up here to choose my voice. So if I click on that, I do have to select from basically templates of formality, tone, and my profession. So that's about it in terms of what it's able to do. I wouldn't say I would not use this script at all. Looking at the other options here for Grammarly, it's not very robust of features, if you will. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Okay, so let's rank Grammarly on my 4 criteria. So for how generic the writing sounds, I didn't think it was amazing. I didn't think it was terrible though. I'm gonna give it a 2. For the memory, meaning can you easily build off of the original prompt or the request, I'm gonna give it a 2 simply because yes, I could do that in the field there, but I didn't feel like there was much depth to the writing that it gave me. In terms of ease of use, I personally, and I know that many of you might disagree with me, I don't think this Grammarly tool as it is right now, I don't think it's super easy to use. So I'm gonna give it a 1. And then for the cost, I'm gonna give it a 4 because I was just using the free version and I was able to do all of that. As you can see on the screen here, it does have premium levels and business levels, but it doesn't tell me what the pricing is. I do remember that it's not very expensive, so I will give it a 4 in my 1 to 5 ranking. So adding up all my ratings for Grammarly, Grammarly gets a score of 9. Okay, the next tool is called Rytr, and when you hear about Rytr, you usually hear about Rytr because of its affordability. It's a very affordable tool and its versatility in being able to write different types of content. So let's dive into Rytr and see if it can produce a good YouTube video script based on the exact same prompt that we've been working with previous tools. The first thing you notice, or I notice when I come into Rytr, is it's really clean, right? The user interface, it looks to be very friendly. They have the copy option and the chat option. The copy is where you're selecting selecting from different templates. You can select a tone of voice. You can create your own tone of voice, your writing style, etc. Here are the use cases. They have quite a few use cases. You can write in whatever keyword that you want to include in your writing, and then you can select how many variants and the level of creativity that you want the writing to include. So since we are writing a YouTube video script, hopefully, I'm going to choose this use case dropdown and go down to search for YouTube or video script. I don't see either YouTube or video script here in the list. I selected the create your own use case, and lo and behold, that being on the lowest pay version of Rytr, I don't get access to the ability to create my own use case. I have to upgrade to premium. Now, again, it's not expensive. I'll show you the pricing here coming up, but it's not expensive at all. But I would like to be able to easily accomplish the same task that I've been accomplishing in the other tools, sort of right out of the box, if you will. Okay, so I can't use the copy option to write my YouTube video script. Let's try to do it using the chat option. So this looks like to me where I can type in my prompt. So let's try pasting in the prompt that we've been using in the other tools. Ooh, I'm very limited in the number of characters that it gives me. So let's just tell it that I want to write a video script. So it comes back with, that's great. So thank you, Rytr. Writing a YouTube video script is a fantastic way to plan out your content. Remember to start with a strong introduction. It looks like I can't even put in the prompt here. So I'm just going to say, no, I want you to write the script. So I had to put that in there for it to even start prompting me with questions. I'd be happy to help you write a YouTube video script. To get started, could you please provide me some information about the topic? So I'm going to type in the topic, how businesses can survive and thrive in the age of AI. So it's just given me a script, but because of the limited characters in the chat field here, I wasn't able to put in my target audience, the format of the script that I'm looking for. So it's just written me a script only on the title that I've given it. Now, that's cool that it can do that, but let's take a look at, is this any good? Hello and welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence and exploring how businesses can not only survive, but thrive in this rapidly evolving landscape. So pretty generic, if I would say. And then it goes through the three main points here, conclusion, and then call to action. I don't mind the 3 points that it came up with. I'd want to flesh those out a little bit, but overall, this is not a script that I would use. I might take a couple of these main point ideas to work on crafting my own video script from, but overall, this is not something I would use, and I feel very limited in what I'm able to actually do with this. I can come down here and click the copy to document button. After you've created a document, it'll pull up over here on the right-hand side, and I can begin to, edit this and add in my own points and so forth. I can change the tone for different things and everything. But again, you can see how long it is. It's not very long at all for a YouTube video script. And by the way, in the prompt that I have given it, I'm asking for a 5 to 7 minute YouTube video script length. I would say this may be 5 minutes, but for me, there's no depth to this at all. Now, again, can I work with this? Probably. All right, so let's rank Rytr on my 4 criteria. Number 1, how generic does the writing sound? I give this a 1. It sounds very generic to me. Number 2, memory. Can you easily build off of an original request or the prompt? I'm going to give this a 2 because technically I can in that chat field, but I'm very limited on what I can ask it to do in terms of character length, but I will still give it a 2 because I do have the ability to do that. In terms of ease of use, I actually did not find Rytr very easy to use at all. I'm going to give it a rating of 2. When it comes to cost, I'm going to give a rating of 5 because it's very inexpensive. If I remember correctly, I think the most expensive option is like $15 or $10 or something like that per month. It's not very expensive at all. So adding up all the ratings for Rytr gets a 10 overall from me. All right, the next tool is called Writesonic. Writesonic is another AI writing tool that many people have heard of. I was excited to give it a try because up until now, I had never used Writesonic before. This is what the dashboard looks like. Fairly user-friendly interface here, right? Remember, we want to be writing a YouTube video script. So what will you create today? They have, the most often used thing things in terms of features right up front here. So let's look at AI article writer, article blog writer, document editor, paragraph writer, SEO checker. To me, right off the bat, feels like an SEO writing tool, but let's dive into it a little bit more. So let's just say I want to write a YouTube video. So it immediately took me to the chat function, which I want to see if there's actually a template for this. So let's go back out and I want to say browse all templates. So as you can see here, they have a lot of templates. So let's type in video. It'll do TikTok video scripts, but no YouTube video scripts. It'll do outlines, ideas. That's pretty cool. But I want to write a YouTube video script. So I'm going to go back out to that homepage here. And it looks like it's going to take me back to that Writesonic, which they call basically their chatbot here. And looks like I have to put the prompt in that I've been using. So let's put that in there. Here's the exact same prompt we've been using, and let's see what it comes up with. So here's the script that it just produced. It includes the sections, great, that I had in the prompt, but the hook for me isn't super strong. Are you an online business owner looking to stay ahead of in the age of AI, working less and profiting more? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do just that. It's okay. It's not very strong at all. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more valuable insights on leveraging AI for your online business. Then it just goes into the content. There's no real flow to the introduction, and from the hook into the introduction, it just starts you off with the content, which is not something that I would be looking for. It's pretty good in the pieces of content that it's giving me to be teaching in this script. With AI-powered chatbots, you can engage with customers answering queries. So it doesn't sound super generic. It's not, not the most generic tool that we've seen so far. Not amazing in terms of its writing. The most impactful thing you can do. Now, here's the most impactful thing you can do to thrive. I like this. Notice the difference here with Writesonic, that it's focusing on the title that I gave it, unlike the other tools where it went right into giving you tools that can help you with your online business. Whereas Writesonic, for me, this is the first tool that has stayed true to the actual topic of the video, which thumbs up for Writesonic for doing that. So overall, I think the script isn't bad. The biggest thing that I would work on with the script after I've gotten this is to rework that hook and the intro. It's using ChatGPT 3.5, and I would have to be paying for this through Writesonic in order to use it. I can use 3.5 for free with ChatGPT. Now, some other features of Writesonic, they have an AI article writer. Again, this feels very SEO-esque in terms of this being an AI writing tool, so that if you are writing SEO content, Writesonic might be a good choice for you. Similar to the other tools, you can train it on your brand voice, and it has other tools here that I'm not going to get into in this video here. So overall, I think it's a decent tool. I do think it's geared more towards SEO, but if I want to create something that's not SEO related, I do need to go into the chat feature, which again, I could just be doing that in ChatGPT. Okay, so let's rank Writesonic on my 4 criteria for how generic the writing sounds. I'm going to give it a 2 because it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great though. For memory, meaning can you easily build off of an original request or prompt, because I had no other way to write this YouTube video script than using the chat feature, I'm going to give it a 4 because I can do that right inside of Writesonic here. Ease of use, I'm going to give it a 2 because from this home screen, there's a lot of different options being thrown at me. Is it laid out pretty nicely? Yes, but I have to dig a little bit in order to even find out that I have to use what they call the Writesonic feature to write the thing that I want to be writing inside of the tool here. So I'm going to give it a 2. For cost, as you can see here on the screen, I'm going to give it a 5 because it is very reasonably priced. I don't pay for any AI tool by the year because, as we know, this stuff is changing so frequently. So I'm looking at the monthly price, either $15 a month or $20 a month. That's great by me. I'm going to give it cost rating of 5. So adding up all the ratings for Writesonic for me gets a 13. The next tool is called Anyword. Many of you have heard of Anyword in terms of writing content for SEO purposes. And they have some algorithms built into the tool here with some sort of predictive performance analysis where it'll give you scores and stuff like that based based on the content that it is producing. So that's pretty cool, right? But let's go in and check out and see if we can write our YouTube video script inside of Anyword. All right, the first thing I notice is pretty clean and user-friendly interface. I like it. It's a little bit annoying for me that this thing is swiping through, but all right, so let's look here. Documents, templates, copy intelligence. This is that sort of data performance analytics algorithm that they have. I'm not interested in that for this purpose, but pretty cool if you're writing SEO related content. Brand voice, again, just like the other tools, they do have an option for you to train Anyword on your writing style, your tone of voice. So I'm going to see, let's say, create something new, Blog Wizard. I'm going to see if they have a video script template. So I'm going to look here, script. They don't. They have a YouTube video description. I'm noticing a trend here. Many of these tools do allow you to create a YouTube video description. So I'm assuming I can go to just to editor and create my own. So now what I'm going to do is, because they don't have a template for a YouTube video script, I'm going to choose the general prompt and then use the exact same prompt that I've been using in the other tools. I'm going to do a tone of voice with, say, neutral. It gives you the talking points here, and then it allows you to choose the target audience, which is pretty cool. I've put the target audience into my script, so I don't necessarily need to do that, but let's go with busy online and click generate. Okay, so it has just generated my script here. I will say that it took longer than the other tools that we've been talking about to produce the script, but let's see if it is any good. So start with an engaging hook. So we notice right now that it is following the format that I put into the prompt. Imagine slashing your work hours in half while doubling your profit. Sound good to be true? In the digital age we live in, it's not only possible, but businesses are doing it right now thanks to one game changer, artificial intelligence, or AI. Stick around because you're about to learn how to turn your online business into a profit generating powerhouse with the power of AI. I would never say profit generating powerhouse. However, I think the rest of that hook is pretty good. And that is something that I could build off of. Then it transitions into the how-to content. I'd like to see a little bit more in depth for each of these topics. However, they're pretty good in terms of the actual pieces of content. And you'll notice here too, these are very similar to what the other tools have been producing for us, talking about customer service, AI-driven analytics, and so forth. Then it goes into the most impactful thing that you can do, and then it gives you the conclusion and the call to action. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I would definitely be changing around these, the how-to pieces, but overall, how it's written and the voice in which it is written is pretty darn good. Remember, I haven't given it any kind of brand voice from which to work. It's basically just taken the neutral tone of voice over here setting, and then it allowed me to select a target audience based on what they have here in the tool. Pretty cool. So not too bad on the script that it was able to produce. Now let's look at some of these other things that you can do in here. So you can put in content or text to improve the writing on it. They have different campaigns that you can write, an email drip campaign. That's pretty cool. Lots of social media, as you can see here, from Facebook to Twitter, LinkedIn, ad copy, Google, Facebook, etc. Email copy, which is cool, website templates and so forth. Then there's a general writing option. So I actually like a lot of what they have to offer here, and it's pretty straightforward in how they are presenting it to you. And then to take it a step further, they're also giving you that, again, the data performance analytics that they've built into the algorithm. So overall, pretty cool with what Anyword has been able to create for us. Okay, so let's rank Anyword based on the criteria. Number one, in terms of how generic the writing sounds, I'm going to give it a rating of 4 because I think it was really good. Out of all the tools that we've looked at so far in this video, by far, Anyword has done the best job in terms of not sounding like a robot. In terms of memory, meaning, again, can you easily build off, in this case here, my original prompt? There wasn't an easy way to do that here in Anyword. It was the one prompt, and then if I can do that in here, it's not very intuitive, at least for me. So for that reason, I'm going to rate it a 1 in terms of memory. In terms of ease of use, yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 because I felt like it was pretty easy to use. There's lots of different options. It seems to be user-friendly except for the ability ability to adapt this original prompt that I'm working with or add on to it. So I'm going to give it a 4 in terms of easy to use because I felt like it was pretty easy to use. And then finally, in terms of cost, I'm going to give it a rating of 2 because if you're using the starter plan, which is $49 a month, you don't have access to one of their big selling points, which they call the one-click boost performance and content improver. I'm not even exactly sure what that is, but they talk a lot about it. And in order to get that feature, you need to pay the $99 a month option. So for that rating, I'm giving it a 1 because that is pretty high. Okay, so my total ranking for Anyword is 11. The next AI writing tool that I think is overhyped is called Ink Editor, and it is mainly focused for SEO content writing. Now, as you can see here, they lead with SEO related planning with keyword research and keyword clustering. Not what I'm looking for in terms of wanting to write a YouTube video script. Over here on the create section, write, assistant, I can create AI generated images, and then they have popular workflows down here where there's 4 of them. So let's choose the write option under the create section. I come to here. It looks like there's only 4 templates for creating a document. So I'm just going to click on blank document here, and I can either start writing, which I don't want to do. I want the AI to write me a YouTube video script. So over here, it has the AI assistant. Now I had to select that, by the way, over here. So ask Ink to write anything. I'm limited to 400 characters, so there's no way that I can put in my entire prompt. So I'm going to say, write a YouTube video script. Now for context, I'm going to put in the title and say title. I'm going to say target audience. I have a shortcut for that. And then I'm going to put in the script structure, which is included in the prompt, but I don't have enough space here to put in my full prompt. So I've put in as much information as it's asking me, and I'm going to click the command button. So it started writing right away, and here is the beginning of the script, but it stopped. I'm assuming I have to click continue. So it really quickly started to write this script here, but it cuts off down at the bottom, and I'm honestly not sure why it cut off. It's not that long what it's already written. If I click compose, does it continue? No, it does not continue. So I'm not really sure why it cut off, but let's just read what it has written so far. Hey there, online business owners. Are you looking to take your business to the next in this age of AI? To the next what? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to show you 9 essential tools that will help your online business not only survive, but thrive in this new era. So again, it went immediately to the tools angle of that, which isn't bad, right? But left out a word, very generic. And then it just jumps right into, first we have chatbots. These handy tools can help automate customer service and save you time and money. Next, we have predictive analytics. So it went right into the next point. It gave literally 2 sentences to the first point, looks like 1 sentence to the next point. Not super impressed with this. And again, it cuts off. Now, my favorite tool out of all these amazing options is chatbots and then I don't know what else it's going to say. So it's just completely stopped here. This is a big fail in terms of writing the video script for me. And if I go back out here to the dashboard area, I can look at, all right, can I use the assistant? Well, I was just using the assistant, and it tells you right here, write short copy with a simple request trained on 130 plus marketing scenarios. Well, I guess the only option to write my YouTube video script is with the write option, but I just tried to do that and it was a massive fail. So when it comes to my 4 criteria for the Ink Editor AI writing tool, let's rate each of the criteria. So number 1, how generic the writing sounds. That sounded super generic, and it didn't even give me my full content. So that gets a 1 right off the bat. In terms of memory, in terms of being able to add to that original request, well, it didn't even finish my original request. So that gets a 1 also. In terms of ease of use, this is pretty easy to use because there's not a whole lot to to it. And so if I want to write an email campaign or a blog post or something like that, that has a pre-done template, pretty easy to use. So I will give it a 4 in terms of ease of use. And then finally, in terms of cost, as you can see here on the screen, it's $49 a month for the professional level, $119 a month for the enterprise level. $49 a month, I think, is on the more expensive side for an AI writing tool, as I've been talking about here today in the video, especially for what I think that you're getting in the tool here. So I'm going to give it a 1 rating for the cost. So totaling up my ratings for Ink Editor gets a 7. All right, this next tool is called AI Writa, and I'm including this tool in the video here because it was suggested by one of the viewers of one of my previous videos here on the channel. So going right into AI Writa, fairly user-friendly interface. And again, our goal here is to write that YouTube video script. So I'm going to go to AI tools and templates right off the bat. I'm going to search on script and scroll down. I see video script as an option. I believe this is the first video script template that we've seen in all the tools so far. So let's go ahead and click on that. So the name, how businesses can survive and thrive in the age of AI. All right, for the description, let's say that we are going to put in our target audience and then the structure of the script that we are looking for. So we're looking for the hook, etc. Put that in here and click on generate. All right, here's the script that it has just written for us. Let's take a look. I can tell right off the bat that it is very generic sounding. It says, welcome to the future of business growth where artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the way we work and profit. Are you an online business owner looking to harness the power of AI? This is a mouthful, right? So very generic sounding. And then go into the intro. In today's fast-paced digital landscape, time is money. We understand that. All right, so the writing is not all that great in terms of, does it sound generic? Yes, for me, it absolutely does. Then it gets into the teaching and the how-to, but the script doesn't actually get into any of the teaching and the how-to because it says, let's dive right into the essentials of using AI and AI tools for your online business. We'll cover everything from chatbots to machine learning algorithms. Our step-by-step approach will ensure that you grasp the concepts easily, even if you're new to the world of AI. And then it says by the end of the video, then it has a call to action to a course, and then it goes right into the conclusion. So it doesn't go into anything about what it recommends to include for the how-to and the teaching part, which I find very interesting. So let's go back over here. Let's see if we're missing something. Go to my AI assistants. That is exactly what we just did. So I've got to be missing something with this. And let's try out the freestyle template. This is allowing us to put in the prompt, hopefully. So let's put in the prompt that we've been using. Let's put in the entire prompt and YouTube vid script and generate. All right, and here's the script that it is just produced, way better than the previous one that we just saw. Follows the format that we've given it. As you can see here, it is pretty in-depth, which I really like. It looks to be the most in-depth script that we've come across here in all of the tools. And it also is giving suggestions on what to be showing on the video in terms of editing and so forth. Begins with, hey there, fellow online and business owners. Are you ready to unlock the power of AI and take your business to new heights? Well, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you how you can leverage AI to work less and profit more in your online business. So let's dive right in. Very generic sounding. First things first, my name is, and I'm a passionate online entrepreneur. Today, I'm thrilled to share with you some incredible insights on how AI, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes into the tips. I actually like the tips and the how-to content that it is giving. And again, it fleshes these tips out pretty well. Then it goes into the conclusion and then a quick call to action at the end. So for the overall format, I do like what it's given us. I don't like the intro and the hook at all. I do like the how-to content that it's given us. And I also think, yes, it is quite generic in what type of writing that it is given us. I also think it was fairly difficult to find that in order to get that accomplished, I had to go to a freestyle template to be able to actually accomplish what I want to accomplish. So let's rank AI Writa on my 4 criteria. In terms of how generic the writing sounds, as I just mentioned, I think it sounds very generic. I'm going to give it a rating of 1. In terms of memory, can you easily build off of the original request or the prompt? Well, the first thing I tried in order to get that script that actually cut off, absolutely a 1. When using this freestyle option, though, I would give it a 4 because I could probably get there to be able to use that chat functionality and the output that it has just given me. So I'll give that a 4. In terms of ease of use, I'm going to give it a 4 only because I refuse to give something a 3. As I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, I really want to give it a 3 because it is easy to use, but again, I found it kind of hard to find where I can actually accomplish what I want to accomplish, but we'll give it benefit of the doubt. We'll give it a 4. In terms of cost, it's very inexpensive. The highest price, I believe, is $9 a month. So cost gets a rating of 5. Adding all those ratings up, AI Writa gets an 11. All right, coming up next for the final AI writing tool that I'm about to share with you. This is the one tool that I think hands down is the best AI writing tool available today. It's a tool that I use every single day in my business. Now, before I share that with you, let's take a look at what the leaderboard looks like right now. Writesonic, Anyword, and AI Writa are at the top of the list so far with total ratings of 11. Copy.ai and Rytr have total ratings of 10. Jasper and Grammarly have total ratings of 9. And then Ink Editor has a total rating of 7. And now for the final AI writing tool that I wouldn't even classify it as an overhyped AI writing tool because oftentimes it's not even considered a writing tool. This is a tool that I use every single day, and that is Claude 3. As you can see here, the user interface with Claude is extremely user-friendly. There is only one thing that you can do, and it has one field. So I'm going to put my prompt right into the field here. Also want to point out that I'm using Claude 3 Opus, which you do need the pro version, which is $20 a month to access Opus. Opus is the most intelligent model. It's the most powerful model within Claude. As you can see here, they have two other options, Sonnet and Haiku. You can read the descriptions of what those two models are below. I'm doing this test using Opus. So let's go ahead and run this prompt and see what kind of video script it comes up with. All right, here is the script that it has just written, and this is really, really good. So let's dive into it. So the hook, what if I told you AI could help you work less, make more money, and future-proof your online business? Stick around because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I think that's a great hook. I think it sounds very human written. I don't look at that as sounding generic. And I think the hook itself would make me want to watch that video. Now, in the introduction, hey everyone, Claude here. As an online business owner myself, I know how challenging it can be to stay competitive and profitable. But the good news is AI is here to help us, not replace us. So it's directly referring to the title. So it's starting to build on what this video is actually all about. Today, I'm excited to share some practical strategies for leveraging AI to streamline your operations, boost your revenue, and set your business up for long-term success in the age of artificial intelligence. Let's dive in. I think that's a combination of a little bit of generic there, but mostly it sounds very human for me anyway, the way that it is written. Then it goes into the how-to content very similarly to the other tools. The difference here though, for me, is that it's actually giving examples of tools to back up what it is saying. So for example, automate customer service with AI chatbots, tools like MobileMonkey and ManyChat. And it does that for each of these how-to points. And it fleshes them out fairly well. Then I really like how it goes into the most important tip and then the payoff. Again, the writing sounds very human. For me, there's a level of empathy to the writing, and it does not sound robotic at all. Then it gives the payoff at the bottom and then the conclusion. And I would say the only thing that it's missing here is a call to action. And I'm looking at the prompt right now. Did I ask it to include a call to action? I don't think I did, but I would hope that it would, since it's writing a YouTube video script, that it would give me a call to action. It did not. So I would say I would probably adapt the prompt to reflect that. But overall, this is a very, very good YouTube video script, far better, in my opinion, any of the other AI writing tools that we came across. I use the exact same prompt, put it in here, and then obviously I can now follow this up with, I can request it to write an email promoting this video. I can ask it to write ad copy if I wanted to. Very easy to follow up. And so I like this so much better. And again, I think the content that it's written is way better by far than the other tools that we've looked at. So just like we've been doing with the other tools, let's rate Claude on the 4 criteria. Okay, for how generic the writing sounds in Claude, I'm going to give this a 5 because compared to all the other AI writing tools, I think it sounds the most human. Remember, I have not trained any of these tools on writing style or tone of voice, and I think this is pretty darn good what Claude has given me. In terms of memory, meaning can you easily build off of the original request or prompt? Very easy to do that like we just talked about. I give it a 5. Now in terms of ease of use, I'm going to give it a 4. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is because there are no templates or anything like that in here that I have to start straight up with my prompts. Now for me, that's no problem at all to do that. Now, if you don't have a prompt handy, you will need to get help from Claude in writing a prompt to get you to a piece of content that you are happy with. So that's the only reason I'm giving it a 4. And then in terms of the cost, I'm going to give it a 4. It's only $20 per month. The reason I'm not giving it a 5 is because there were a couple of tools that I talked about here today that are only like $9 or $10 per month compared to $20 a month. Obviously, that is far less. So I'm going to give cost a 4 rating. So if you add all of those up, the total rating score for Claude is 18, by far ahead of Writesonic, Anyword, and AI Writa, which all had 11. So hands down for me, Claude AI is the best AI writing tool on the market today. If you're not yet using Claude, highly recommend it. So there you have it. There's my list of overhyped AI writing tools, why I feel like they're overhyped, and then the #1 tool for writing that I use every single day in my business, that being Claude 3, using the Opus model inside of Claude. And just a caveat here, I know what many of you are probably thinking, well, Rick, are you just using these tools to generate that content and just put it out there? No, absolutely not. Any writing that you do online should never be a copy and paste. It's to get you started so that you can then go in and edit, add your own personal flavor to it, your stories, etc. Claude 3 Opus by far is the best AI writing tool for me. If you haven't checked it out yet, want to encourage you to check it out. I have links to all the tools below this video here. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel here. Very much appreciated. And if you have any tools that you like better or any comments or feedback on the video here, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.